Hey, I'm Christina and this is Baking with Chickens. Today I'm going to make my favorite lemon crinkle cookie recipe from Beach House Kitchen. These are my favorite cookies and the first time I made them I was like, holy crap, this is the best cookie I've ever made in my entire life. I'm gonna make them and show you how to make it. I also love them because when I put it on a plate, they kind of look like a little fried egg. I'm a dork like that. If you wanna get this recipe, click it in the link below. It's on my blog at bakingwithchickens.com. Lemon crinkle cookies, here we go. Lemon crinkle cookies, here we go. These are really great, impressive. I also really like making these as gifts. Yellow is also my favorite color. So the first thing I'm gonna do with this recipe is put in my dry ingredients, my flour, baking powder, and salt into this bowl and whisk it together. It's a teaspoon, right? Not a tablespoon, because that's something I would do. Whenever you're using teaspoons and tablespoons, always just double check your measure. Tablespoons are a lot bigger than a teaspoon, and I have made that mistake before. And if you take a look at the banana pudding recipe, that was actually an instance in which it actually helped me. So if you go and click in one of my past episodes in banana pudding, I accidentally used a tablespoon of salt instead of a teaspoon. That worked out in my favor, but in this case, this would not work because baking powder is a chemical reaction and that would mess up the recipe. In my KitchenAid stand mixer, I am going to cream together my butter, sugar, and eggs. I'm gonna cream my butter and sugar together until it's fluffy. I'm gonna add in my 2 eggs. I'm gonna choose my 2 large eggs from my favorite chicken, Raspberry. She lays the largest eggs of the bunch. So thank you, Raspberry, for your eggs today. These will go into our recipe. When you're baking with eggs, it's important to use the right size. So different chickens lay different size eggs. Hers are considered large. I'll show you Olga Berry's. This is Raspberry's best friend, Olga Berry's egg. And if you look at them side by side, you can see how different they are in size. So whenever recipes are saying use 1 large egg, it's important to use the right size because it's the volume of liquid that goes in. So if I used Olga Berry's egg, it wouldn't give me the same consistency and results. So that's why it's important to be consistent and use the right size eggs. I like to use Olga Berry's eggs for omelets or breakfast or sandwiches because sometimes like 2 eggs, it's too much, and even 1 large egg is too much. So her like little small eggs are like the perfect size for breakfast sandwiches. I'm gonna put the 2 eggs in here and mix them together. Let me show you a little tip about cracking eggs. So this is a common misconception that, I don't know, I learned when I was small. I watched my mom do this and everybody else. Typically when you crack eggs, you see people cracking their eggs on the sides, right? Like on a side of a bowl. So that's wrong. You don't want to do that. You want to crack your egg on a flat surface like this. And the reason why is because when you crack it on a lip like this, some of the shell goes inside the egg. So you have a higher chance of getting a little shell bit if you're cracking it on the side. But if you're cracking it on a flat surface, it just kind of shatters it flat and it reduces the likelihood that you're going to get little bits of shell into your eggs when you crack them. Cool, huh? See, nice flat crack and no accidental eggshell inside. Now for the lemony part. For this lemon crinkle cookie recipe, we're going to use fresh lemon juice, grated lemon peel and lemon zest, and also lemon extract to get a super great, like strong lemony flavor. You don't have to use the lemon extract, but I find it makes it a lot better and tastier. When you're zesting your lemons, you want to avoid that white pith as much as possible. The white pith is bitter. I'm gonna cut my lemon in half. Use my lemon squeezer. So I need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So this is my tablespoon. I double checked, it's the big one. I'm also gonna do 1 teaspoon of this lemon extract and also a ½ teaspoon of vanilla extract, just to mellow it out a bit. If you take a look inside, it's already a really pretty yellow color. My very nice, beautiful yellow colored egg yolks from my chickens also help contribute to it. You don't have to add extra coloring if you'd like, but I'm gonna add a little bit just because I really like that golden sunshine color. Gel food coloring is a good way to go. If you don't like artificial food coloring, turmeric is a natural spice that will make things yellow. You can try that. So when working with food dye, be really careful and don't get it on your hand like me because it'll stain and not come off. Now I'm going to add my dry mixture just a little bit at a time until it's just combined. The reason why recipes say to add the dry ingredients a little bit at a time is because I don't want to add all of it at once and then turn it on, because what's going to happen is I'm going to get a giant fluff cloud of flour. So you do a little bit at a time, mix it slowly to incorporate it. You know what I did? I f***ed up, you guys. I didn't read the instructions properly, and the instructions said use the paddle attachment, not the whisk. This is the paddle attachment. This one's the whisk attachment. Oops. This highlights the importance of paying attention and reading all of your instructions before you start. Let's try this again. It's looking really pretty. So now the recipe says to put it in the fridge to chill it for 3 to 4 hours. The reason for chilling is so the dough can be easier to roll and work with. What I'm gonna do after this chills is roll it into little balls, and then I'm going to roll it in powdered sugar. When they're covered in powdered sugar and they bake, that's how it gets that crinkle effect. So stick around and we'll see the crinkle effect. How do you clean your paddles? Anybody? Let me know in the comments. Tell me how you clean your paddles. I feel like it's always such a waste, and I don't want to waste batter. It's looking really good. I'm gonna spread it against the sides of the pan so it'll chill a little faster, and we'll come back and roll some cookies. And we're back. I have chilled my dough for a few hours, so now it's nice and hard and easy to scoop. I'm gonna take these cookie scoops, OXO brand, and scoop them. These are about 1.5 tablespoons to scoop, and then I'm gonna roll it in sugar and powdered sugar, and we're gonna put it on the tray to bake. So first step, I'm gonna get some granulated sugar. So after I roll the cookies in a ball, I'm gonna roll them in the granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, and 1/2 cup powdered sugar. Powdered sugar is what gives it its crinkle. Miles.
Let me let him out.
I'll let him out, little f***er face. These are gonna bake in the oven at 350 for 9 to 11 minutes.
Batter.
All over my face?
No, just on below your neck.
In my hair? Thank you, Mr. Baking with Chickens.